Bastards. Today I want to talk about how to escape from restraints, which like an escape artist. I will show you certain ways, 4 ways to get out of these restraints on improvised ways. I will talk about handcuffs, uh, zip ties, rope, and duct tape, which are the most common used restraints that people who want to capture you can be used. Who would want to kidnap you? We are thinking about kidnappers for ransom, homejackers who want to tie you up while they go through your stuff, uh, terrorists who are taking hostages, and what's another thing that could happen? A stalker. It's also a possibility, which if they are kidnappers, or perhaps you're being restrained by a certain government or something, that you went to holiday and you did something wrong. You did not did something wrong, but you're just a political playball for some reason, and you need to escape, or you're being captured by insurgents or something like that. So what? Um, those things could happen to anybody of us, or you just did some bondage game that gone wrong. Could happen to the best of us. And yep. So if you're about, I will talk about in another video how to evade, prevent, and take active measurements against kidnapping. I will do this in another video. This video is plainly about what to do when you are being restrained and how to escape from it. Yeah. So prevention we will talk about in the other videos on how to prevent to become a kidnap victim. This is plainly solely about being escape artist with restraints. So we'll go to the first. How do you say this? To the first restraint on how to get out of it. All right. Now I'm going to show how to open handcuffs. Yeah, you could do it with two hands bounded, but usually when you're in a situation where you're kidnapped, you are being handcuffed with one arm to a radiator or somewhere solid, so you cannot escape. So that's the most possible time that you're going to be able to try to escape, because when you're bound together, usually you're being watched so you don't run away. With this way, usually when you're one hand cuffed to a certain solid place, then your kidnappers or guards will leave you alone at least. And that's the moment when you can try to open it. How do you open a handcuff? This is a standard American handcuffs. You can use a paper clip, or yeah, a paper clip or a bobby pin, like in your hair. You can hide this in your belt, your hair, or that sort of thing, or easily fabricate from a needle or a paper clip, like I said. So we're going to use if you can see it, the bobby pin. I showed two ways to open a handcuff that way. Uh, we're doing the most easiest way is just to open this up. What you want to do is make it a little bit straight. Yeah, make it a little bit straight. And you see the notches where they would latch in. First of all, you take a straight bit and you shove it right here in, as deep as you can, till you get a hang of the notches. The trick is to, when you are at the end, you need to make it a little bit more tired, so the next notch will take the straight bit with the handcuff. So we're going to try this. Difficult with one hand. Imagine when you have to do it with two. So all right, damn it. Like you can perhaps see, now it's into the latch, and now it's the moment to try to let it catch it on with a... Yo. Yo. Think I got... Oh. Think I fucked it up. Oh, yeah. There you go. That's the way to open it with a straight notch. Like you can perhaps see. These grooves here are latching on onto the tooth that you can see here. And when you force it, like with this, with the next notch into that bit, you are pushing actually this bit up so you can get it off. So that's one way to open it. We're going to be kinky again. Oh, yeah. The next way to open a notch is to make yourself a key. This is simple. I'm going to show it. This is the key that is used, which is just a round key with a notch on it. So you have to create another notch. How do you do this? You just put a straight bit in it. Oh. Straight bit in it. Like right, and then you make a 19-degree turn. So that way you have a little bit of this notch that you fabricated, and then you will try to open it. Oh, kind of difficult. So imagine when you have to do this with 2 hands. Oh, almost. To see that I don't break this. Ah, damn it. I think I broke it. Alright, we're going to try with the other one. Put it in 20 degrees. Oh, oh, yes. Oh, alright. Now it's a little bit stuck, but I can try to wring it out. There you go. If you can perhaps see, oh, like you perhaps can see, now it's a little bit notched. But these are 2 ways to open handcuffs when you're captured by kidnappers, terrorists, or a stalker or something. So these are 2 ways to open it with a needle, a paperclip, bobby pin. Like you can see. I'm not an expert, but I like to try these things out. So when I really need it, it's very handy to have the know-how, and it's a fun thing to show to your friends. So yeah, we're going to the next one. So one of the most common things that perhaps will be used as a restraint is a zip tie. The thing about a zip tie is it's plastic, so you can try to break it instead of the iron thing cuffs, which will be hard to break. Zip ties are actually easy to break, but they are usually more used because they are cheap to make. So what do you do when somebody is trying to binding you? This even counts for duct tape, but when they try to say to put your hands between these, what you want to do is actually instead of when you're about to be when you're held at gunpoint, like please don't shoot. Try to offer your hands when they are getting after you with restraints in front of you. Why? In the first place, when you're being defiant, like you show you're going to attack at any moment, at any time that you think it's going to be handy, then they will say turn around, and then they will restrain on your back, and that will make it a lot more difficult. So when you have no way out and you're going to be captured, try to offer your hands in front, so they will be more obliged. They will there's more chance that they will leave your hands in front of you because you're willingly doing so. Willingly is a big word, but it makes the job easier for them, and people try to find the most easy route always. So what do? You offer in front of you, but when they are trying to restrain your hands, I would say try to create as much space as you can before they tie it tightly down. What do I mean by that? When they when you offer your hands, try to create some space that will be difficult to fully closure up. Or instead of putting your hands together, try to give them next to each other. So when they lash the zip tie, you have some space, and when it's fully closed, you can turn your hands and you have a little bit more space between. Every little space is a potential way to get out. So when you do it willingly, captures will be less severe, I would say. So what you do, like I said, do it in front of you. I'm going to tie it now down because it's kind of difficult. Okay. Yeah. So I'm, like we can see, I'm tied down. It's kind of difficult to get out, but what do? You try to look for weak spots that perhaps are in the plastic. If you can find one, try to create one. Try to rub it against rock. Try to rub it against something sharp, like you can perhaps see, like this piece of metal of the table would be very. You don't have to cut it all through, but it's more easier when you get a little notch. It's like paper. When you try to pull it, it's difficult. If it's a little notch above, then it's going open. The same thing with this. So I'm going to try to get out of this restraints. So what you can do is, like I said, rub it. I will show you in the next scene. But with this, you can use your teeth or try to break it. You have to watch out in a life of that situation, it doesn't matter if you break your teeth or not. But if you're going to practice, be very carefully because it can easily break your teeth. It's important to just make a little notch. I have a little notch, so now I'm going to yeah, like you can see, now I'm free. It like you can see, it hurt a little bit, but that's the price, and I did not break one of my teeth, so that's already good. All right, that's how you get out of plastic restraints, and how to, in a way, psychology influence your chances of escape in front. Yeah, I'm going to show you now the clip how to do it with grinding a little piece off. This way, I will show you now, is something you can do when you're binded on the back, because not every person is agile enough to go between the legs, get their legs out, and get the zip ties in front of. Not everyone is that agile or flexible, so that could be very difficult. And in case you don't want to be detected, you are forced to stand against the wall. You can stand against the wall and start to on a supple way, try to rub against concrete or stone. So you make that same little notch that I showed here instead of your teeth, and from that notch, try to break out of the restraint. So now I'm going to show you that way. All right, let's try this one out. Oh my. Yeah, like you can see, it does some damage when you start to grind your hands together with the plastic. But yeah, it did the job. This is just a regular zip tie, so perhaps it would be more difficult with harder types of plastic. But yeah, if you are determined enough, you will start to break it. And don't forget, after you broke away, shift away a lot of the plastic, so you made it's like making a little try to make a little cut, and then try to wrestle to try to uh, move opposite with your hands to try to break it. Try to do it with force. It's like a piece of paper. To just pull it apart is difficult, but when you make a little cut in it, like you do with grinding, then you can get it out. You can break it more easier. So that's a good way. It's a painful way, but it's a way to get out. All right. Another most common use of restraints are, like we can perhaps see, duct tape. This has been circled around 3 or 4 times. It's is isolation tape, which is more sturdy than just desk duct tape. So how are you gonna get out? Like I said before, when they started to bind you, try to create as much room between your hands as possible. Like you can see, I do not have much room here because of the way I had to restrain myself, which I never thought I had to do. So how do you get out of here? Well, wait for the good moment before you escape. And just like with the zip ties, just try to rub it, grind a piece of it, just like on rock, concrete, a sharp piece like this piece of metal. Or you can yet again use your teeth, which I'm going to try. What I want to say about the tape is, do not try to in unlike the zip ties we will break with this kind of movement. The duct tape even will be even getting more stuck, because if I would try to do this, the middle tape will get stuck together even more, and those fabrics will start to become thicker and will be harder to break. So with duct tape you cannot do this. So just yeah, like you can see, you're free in a matter of minutes. But when people try to bind you with duct tape, usually they will start to have to keep an eye on you. So instead of leaving you alone in a cell or something, so that's something you need to think about. But like you can see with the teeth, if you have 10 seconds the chance, you can bite it open and try to get away or fight your kidnapper. And like I said with the zip ties, if you are binded behind your back, try to rub it against stone, concrete, or something sharp. Could be anything. Try to find a piece. Try to get a piece of or stone or something, or glass, something sharp, and try to perhaps try to cut it open with a notch and try to build it open like that. Yeah, like you can see, duct tape is an easy way to escape, but it's commonly used. So that was the duct tape part. So, being tied up with rope is also a possibility. Uh, Yet again, you can get out of such a thing by just starting to rub against stone, concrete, a sharp object, um, or in the this or yeah, in or the same as in the front as in the back. And this is one of the few restraints that somebody, if you captured with somebody else, they can try to help you, because every basic knot, rope restraint, it has a knot. Unless you're being cuffed with a Gordian knot, it always has a beginning and an end. So you can ask to somebody to subtly try to release the knots. You can do this by feeling or by first looking at it if you have the chance. How usually would you be tied up? It's a little bit improvised because yeah, it's difficult to tie yourself up. What they usually would do if somebody would try to cuff you with a rope, they would go a few times around every wrist, a few times yet again, and in the middle they would go like you can probably see improvised in this way, go a few times around in the middle and tie it up in a certain way that you cannot just try to reach the knot. So imagine in the middle that is now in the middle, vertically wounded up and knotted tight. That's the way that you cannot escape. Yeah, it's kind of bullshit if you think that you just could put your hands together and they would go around and make a knot, because that's you can easily escape. A person who's a little bit more experienced or likes to do some bondage, yeah, could make a firm knot where they cannot escape from just that easily. So that's something. That's the way you escape out of knots. Try to, if you are winded with knots, try to stay as dry as possible. Try to stay out of the rain, out of puddles, out of. Don't lean against wet surfaces like wet walls that have dew or some water on it, because if the rope gets wet, it gets stronger and it will be more difficult to get out of it, which is a little tip to make. All right, yeah, that is how you escape from a rope restraint, which is the fourth against, I think, so far. So this was my video about how to escape from restraining from a kidnapper, terrorist, stalker, a homejacker or something. Those things, people who want to tie you up. I hope you learned some tips from it that you will never have to use, I hope. But please subscribe, like, give a reaction if you have another tip I could use to make an improvement on these skills from the escape artist. Yeah, and thank you for watching and see you in the next video.